Now, I want to stay with transport, and I don't think I need to tell you it really has been a nightmare for drivers who've been trying to renew their licenses, particularly in this province, Gauteng. The backlog in the province has made it particularly difficult. As a result, over 30,000 drivers have been driving illegally. But today, the Gauteng Transport MEC, Jacob Mamabolo, launching a mobile license renewal centre in Midrand. That's just north of Johannesburg, all part of the department's efforts to reduce this backlog. Covering that story for us, Mangoba Mqunu, good afternoon to you. So this is one of the solutions to the backlog, but let's make no mistake, this is a real nightmare. It's a headache for the MEC, isn't it?
Indeed, Jeremy, given some of the complaints that we've heard from some of the motorists, you recall that last month, ENCA visited some of those testing stations here in Johannesburg where a number of motorists raised issues, especially around the issue on online registration, which they say was a daily nightmare. We spoke to some of the drivers who had said, Jeremy, that they've been to these testing stations to try and renew their licenses, but of course were forced to turn back due to the fact that they were not able to get some of those slots to be allocated to them, given some of the difficulties and challenges that this online registration process has seemingly presented to officials as well as motorists. So, but the MEC is saying that they are, however, intervening in this particular matter. So, in terms of what are some of the interventions, Jeremy, they've now launched 6 mobile centres, which of course will be operational at the various Gautrain stations between Pretoria as well as Johannesburg. So, what essentially these are, Jeremy, these are Gautrain buses which will be converted into fully fledged licensing departments. So we did get a tour of one of them today, at what it will look like. And inside, Jeremy, I can tell you that it is an office that has been set up where people can go and actually renew their licenses. So you'll find that there are 4 working stations that are there inside there, and all of them have the biometric system which will capture fingerprints as well as the signatures and the photos of those applicants that are coming there. But also there is an eye testing station where people will be tested, and also a cashier who will be able to then process some of those payments that are made by those. So those who are going there will not need at all to go to any of the licensing departments. They'll be able to process everything from start to finish at these particular points. But Jeremy, the MEC is saying that they are hoping that this will alleviate that backlog, which is over 30,000, which of people that have not been able to renew their licenses due to the lockdown. And in fact, it's quite upbeat that they'll be able to meet that 31 August deadline, where we recall that there has been an extension in terms of people that have not been able to renew their licenses. And another contentious issue, Jeremy, of course, is the issue on the online registration, which we spoke to earlier on. The MEC is saying they're also making an intervention in terms of that. So they are saying that they will now be issuing voluntary SMSs to drivers or motorists to be able to actually go and renew their licenses. So what will happen, Jeremy, is that drivers will start getting SMSs which will remind them to go and renew. In fact, they'll offer them slots to go and renew their licenses. And so they'll have to respond whether they are going to confirm or deny that particular appointment. And he says that he's hoping that all of this will be able to help deal with this massive backlog. But take a listen to what MEC Jacob Mamabolo had to say.
We are unveiling essentially 2 solutions. The first one is the bus, which is a mobile unit dedicated exclusively for driver license renewals. And the way it works is that firstly it has got good space and capacity. We can take 4 workstations. So it means that at any given time we'll be able to say 4 people strictly for driver license renewals. As you can see, the technology inside, it's able to make sure that we test your eyes. But this moving forward, our intention is that we must be able to work with optometrists who will be able to provide certificates that confirm that people's eyes are okay. But we're also able to do fingerprint verification, which is critical for identification and for the security of the system. All that is fitted here. And then we have got a payment facility where we are actually going to do cashless. We are going to bring in a speed machine where you can just swipe, you can tag, so that we actually remove cash from these new facilities. These facilities, they are going to be deployed to different areas. As you can see, this is a bus. It can go anywhere. And this one is using diesel. and then we are able to deploy it to different sites where there's a need. We are also side by side with this, introducing about 4 new buses that will, which are electrical buses. In other words, these are zero-emission buses. The electrical buses are going to be excellent because people will not be affected by the emissions, the smoke. So it will also give, applicants a great comfort.